Hey, what's up, y'all? Scavenger Reviews here, and we are going on part 6 of If You're an Idiot. Okay? And this video in general, not this point I'm about to bring up, very personal one for me, just because I've had a lot of stuff going on in my life lately. Nothing to do with these first two, but these first two, each one I've had like a twofer, starting out the video with a twofer. So, number one is if you say adulting. I'm adulting today. Oh, I'm adulting. I just had to start adulting. You're an idiot. And number two is if you say, welcome to the real world, or some variation of that phrase. I hate you. I hate that phrase. Welcome to the real world. What? I don't think there's been a more pessimistic bitch, like no bitches, type phrase I've ever heard in my life. Welcome to the real world. I hate that phrase so much. Like it is so much, and you are an idiot if you say either of those phrases. Number three is if you get pregnant at 16, you're an idiot. Legitimately. If you get pregnant at 16 and it's like completely consensual and stuff like that, I'm not, bringing up all that other stuff, but if it's completely consensual and you get pregnant at 16, whether or not it was an accident, you're an idiot. Because frankly, you should know better. And if you don't know better, then you shouldn't be messing around until you know better. Like, I hate seeing, like, the pregnant at 16 people, and, like, everybody always feels bad for them. They did that to themselves. You're an idiot, There's no way around it. There's no ifs and buts. It's just you're an idiot, man. Well, that was weird. This next one up is another like very female centric one, but it doesn't have to be obviously. But if you do the lumbar lordosis stand, go ahead and look it up if you want. But basically, let me grab Optimus over here. So basically, the lumbar lordosis stand is you got Optimus, right? See how he's standing up straight? It's I can't do it because he can't crunch his back. It's the butt pose, that where like girls stand with like their butts out like this, and stuff like that. If you do the butt pose, you're an idiot. And I'm calling out like a very specific person in my life who does this. Now, if you actually have something, wrong with your spine or whatever, I'm not calling you out. That's your own business. Sorry that's happening to you. But no, like if you got no ass, you got no ass, You ain't fooling anyone, and you're only fooling yourself, just admit it. It's not that big a deal. Nobody's gonna revoke your hoe card because hoe ain't got no ass. Alright, so this next one, I'm calling out my brother in particular because he does this, and I think he's an idiot for this. The one you see, like the other scavenger that you see in some of my videos. If you watch live action remakes, oh my god, I cannot stand you. Like, he just recently rewatched the not rewatched, but watched when it was in theaters, the live action How to Train Your Dragon. He's a big he's a huge How to Train Your Dragon fan. He's one of those guys. So I saw it coming a mile away. He couldn't resist. And he always tries to fucking get on me and say like, "Hey, well, what's the difference between that and the Sonic movies?" And the Sonic movies are not live action remakes. They are live action adaptations. They are live action movies. Like, yeah, the second movie has like a lot of similarities to like this and that, And yeah, the third movie especially like has a lot of similarities to Sonic Adventure 2. Like a lot of similarities, but it's not a live action remake of Sonic Adventure 2. It's a adaptation of it. It's completely different and he like doesn't understand that cuz he's an idiot. And if you watch all of the live action remakes, they're fucking remaking Moana. Like Moana? Really? Why? Who cares? Who cares? I've seen a couple of the live action remakes, like when they first started out, and it wasn't like every single movie, it was just kind of like, oh, hey, they made up this, you know? I watched the live action Jungle Book, the 2016 one, I think, with, it was directed by Jon Favreau, and the only cast member I remember was Christopher Walken was King Louis. That one was actually pretty decent, you know? It was like, I felt like it kind of did its own thing and was still pretty cool. And I really liked Christopher Walken as King Louis, and I remember that, and they made him a Gigantopithecus, which is pretty cool because they did that specifically because like I think orangutans weren't popular in that area where the movie is set or something like that, and that was a thing that was something I don't know. I remember it was an active realism, and I thought that was pretty cool. But like the live action How to Train Your Dragon. I know that's not Disney. Mostly it's just Disney that does it. But anyways, the live action like Lion King, that is the most boring piece of garbage I have ever watched. I did watch it. Can't remember a single thing from it because it's terrible. The live action. What else have I watched? Well, I watched the Maleficent movies. See, if you're going to do like a live action thing, because that's all the thing nowadays and stuff like that, do it Maleficent style. Do a different take on it. Instead of the live action Lion King, you should have got us the live action Mufasa movie. I actually kind of liked the live action Mufasa movie. Granted, I did leave for like 30 minutes of it because I had a personal matter going on, so I had to step out of the movie theater. But I actually really liked it. I thought it was pretty original. Not like the best movie ever. It's like a solid 5 out of 10. But like it was a good 5. It was a 5 plus. Like 5.5. I thought it was decent, and it was an original story. It actually like did a new thing and didn't just like. I'm so glad it wasn't just Lion King 2. You know what I mean? I thought it was alright. I thought it was alright. What can I say? This next one, I feel like everybody's going to agree with it, except for the people that have this thing. LED headlights. Hello, beautiful. Mwah. Here's my kitty, and she hates LED headlight havers. You do not. What are you trying to see? The moon? Like I can't stand people who have LED headlights, and it's always blind. It's like guess I'll die. I mean, like whenever someone like you're on the highway, it's pitch black. It's like 12 o'clock at night, and somebody's coming your way. Guess I'll die. I just I hate LED headlights so much, so much. Like it's just the worst. You got something on you, go. It's weird. Anyways, though. But yeah, and the only people who are going to defend LED headlights are the people with LED headlights. Like this, I hate them. I hate them. If you have LED headlights, you are an idiot. No, end case point. Problem. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You're an idiot. Next up is if you own a Cybertruck. I hate the Cybertruck, and it's not because it's an electric vehicle. Like the regular Teslas, I would unironically rock that for sure, for sure. I would totally drive like one of the like cool Teslas that you see driving around and stuff like that, like the slick ones. The Cybertruck is one of the worst things I've ever seen. First of all, it's propped up as being like the greatest thing of all time and the best truck ever, and it's just not. it fails in every single category that a truck is supposed to even, it doesn't even need to exceed. I'm not even saying it has to be like the best truck. It's not even a functioning truck. It fails at everything. And like, even when people are being like genuine, like people are excited, you watch like people who like just bought their brand new Cybertruck and it breaks like right out like the dealership, you know? The second they get home, it breaks, you know? And it falls apart and you can pull it apart and it's got sharp edges and everything like that. You're just an idiot if you have a Cybertruck, man. It is just, it is what it is. Next up, also correlated. Again, I'm not trying to like theme these, but like I had the two ones about like girls, and then I had these two about like three actually now about cars. But like hey, just pops in my head. It's not really about cars; it just involves cars. If you watch the Fast and Furious movies, I'm sorry, bro. You are an idiot. I mean, the Fast and the Furious movies. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, you watched a couple at the first, because I watched a couple at the first. You know, at the first. No, I watched a couple at first. At the beginning is what I was thinking of. Anyways, I watched a couple of them at the beginning. You know, I think I've seen up to 4 or 5. I've seen 1 and 2. Tokyo Drift, which apparently like takes place before 2 or something like that, or it takes place after 4. That's what it is. It's like Tokyo Drift takes place after 4. Um, and then there's one in the desert, and they're driving through a mine shaft. Sound familiar, guys? I don't know. I checked out, bro. I couldn't do it. I mean, if you sit down and like watch like you're like bated breath, like waiting for that new Fast and Furious. Like, look, I like to turn my brain off sometimes. I like to just enjoy like some fun, entertainment sometimes. Absolutely. The closest thing to Fast and Furious I can think that like I really like is Mad Max. But where Mad Max, you do have like the fun and the adventure and the crazy stunts and all that. You do have like deeper meaning and themes and stuff like that. And show me is there a single video essay character analysis video on YouTube on here about Fast and the Furious? No, no. Yeah, that was supposed to be like Pennywise, where he's like, no, you know, because like, no, it's again, it doesn't have to be like super deep and meaningful, but like Mad Max, you can either look at it surface level as being like, hey, yay, cool action, go bow, or you can look at the deeper meaning. Look at it, you can see it like just in the little bottom, just like hello, she's just looking at me. But anyways, that's what I'm saying, and I just you got to be like bottom of the barrel, bro. Like I'm saying, you're one of those people that show up for like every like Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie. If you show up for like every Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Fast and the Furious movie, you're a fucking idiot, bro. There's no explanation. You're just a fucking idiot. Next up, what? Anyways, if you choose to be old, I'm not saying if you grow old, everyone grows old, it happens to the best of us. I'm saying if you choose to be old, it is a choice. You know? Like, if you choose to be one of those, like, I can't understand this people, you choose to just not, like, learn how to do anything, you choose to just be angry at, like, oh, things are changing, things aren't the way they were, 40 years ago when I was a kid, If you choose to be old, you're an idiot and I hate you. I got a meme, right? AKA grandmother. I got a grandma. She is 76. And if you reverse those numbers. anyways, she is 76 though. This lady is out here watching Marvel movies. She goes and she follows like the Avengers and goes to like movie theaters and stuff like that. and she watched freaking Predator with me because like I convinced her to watch the Predator series because she thought like it was all Arnold Schwarzenegger and she hates Arnold Schwarzenegger for some reason. And I'm like, no, that's just the first one. And she was like, oh, I didn't know that. So we watched Predator 2, Predators, and then Prey. I think we watched Prey first because that's what kind of spurred on like the other ones. But anyways, and she freaking loves them. You know, they're great movies. And that's what I'm saying. Like she's not like, and she can knit. You know, she can knit. She can crochet. She makes a bomb ass blanket. You know, absolutely. Hey, Mima. I ain't gonna send you this, but I'm just saying, like, you do make a bomb ass blanket, for sure, for sure. And you're cool because you don't choose to be old, you know? She could definitely be the, decrepit, helpless old lady who's like, I'm scared of the world, She could be that. And I'm calling out your grandma, because mine is cool, yours isn't, Why does your grandma, why she do that? Why she like that, you know? I just I can't stand people who actively choose to be old, especially the early adopters. The people who aren't even old yet, quote unquote, and they're already like picking up those habits. You can see it. I really hate you. It's an active choice. It's an active choice. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to yourself? You're just going to make the rest of your life miserable. I hate you. You're an idiot. Ugh, had a little acid reflux in that. Whew, nasty. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's mad. She mad. She angry. Alright. Up next. And this one is a personal thing for me. Not a personal, but like just a personal, like, it's a pet peeve. If you harass people for content, I genuinely think you're an idiot. That is like lowest common denominator, below the bar, participation award content. If you say, like, you got your camera and you're like, hey, today I'm going around and I'm asking people out of pocket questions. Or if you're that one guy who, like, got in the guy's trunk or whatever, like, it's gotta be staged. It's gotta be staged, especially that one guy. Because I'll tell you, I clock his fucking, I'm just saying. It's gotta be staged, or I'm just falling for like the biggest rage bait on earth because I hate that guy. This is less of a you're an idiot, which I do think he's an idiot, but I'm saying this whole video is turning into less of a you're an idiot and I hate you, you know. But like no, seriously, if you harass people for content, we've all seen the guy who goes to GameStop video and picks up a random fake game off the shelf and tries to buy it. Like we fucking seen it, bro. Congrats on being the, 325th person to do this stunt. Can I buy Bird Game 3? Can I buy, Devin the Accountant 7? It's not funny. It's not funny. Like, bro, maybe, like, the first one, but, like, it's still going. People are still doing this. It's not funny, you know? Especially if you're, like, harassing, like, the general public, quote unquote. if you're like if you're like harassing like literal just random NPCs on the street, you're an idiot and I hate you, you know? I can't stand people that harass people for content. I really hate it, you know? If you don't respect personal space, I genuinely think you're an idiot. I can't stand people who legitimately get this close to you to talk to you. And I'll help people at my job all the time. Sorry. I'll help people at my job all the time, and they'll walk up close to me, this close, and be like, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the blank is?" And then I'll take a step back, and then they take a step forward to get back to being this close in my face. It drives me nuts. If you don't understand that I can also hear you about a foot to 2 feet away, you're a fucking idiot. I hate people who get this close to you. I feel awkward, like I keep wanting to like myself, I keep wanting to back up. But I'm I hate people that get this close to you. You know, it's weird, isn't it? I'm staring like directly at you. Yeah, I see you there. Dwanye. Dwanye the Block Bronson. I see you. I'm just saying, I hate people that get this close to you. It's so weird. It's so weird. See, I can't even say this close for the bit, man. It's weird. Alright, up next. This is the one that I was kind of hinting at, alluding to. The personal one, okay? Because I'm calling out a specific person and also a specific type of people, but a specific person, my mother. If you refuse to be proven wrong, you just refuse. You were so stuck in your way. You were so, you've believed this thing your whole life, so obviously it must be true if you've believed this your whole life. And you refuse to be proven wrong when shown direct proof of the contrary, I will loathe you. I'm not going to say I hate because I'm talking about my mom with this one, but I loathe you. You know, if like I will be proven wrong quite often. I'm something of a talk out my own ass myself, you know. So I'll be saying some facts that I might have heard somewhere and they're not quite right, and then somebody says like, "Hey, that's not true," and then I look it up and what was it? What was it? It was literally the other day. The other day I was doing this. It was medical bills. It was whether or not medical bills go against your tax. Your tax score, credit score, and I was wrong. I thought that they didn't. And what it is it's apparently under 500 it does not. Over 500 then it does. So I was kind of half right, half wrong, but I conceded. Because it was a friend of mine who was talking to me, and I was like, I looked it up and I was like, you're right, my bad. And I conceded. Because that's what you fucking do. And what it was with my mom is, my mom is definitely afraid of snakes, which was a point in one of my other videos. So, it's a crossover episode. She's definitely afraid of snakes. And her whole life, my whole life, she has been toting a snake sizes you up, fact. And it's not a fact. Snakes do not size you up. That is not a thing. Maybe like the anaconda from the movie Anaconda in the 90s sizes you up, But snakes do not size you up. That is not a thing. It has never been a thing. It is a thing that scared white people say because they're afraid of snakes. It's not a thing, okay? And I didn't even go to like snakelovers.org. I went to Google. Just straight up Google. Typed in, do snakes size you up? And what do you know, Jimbo? It said no, that it's a myth. And I handed her the phone. And you know what she does? I handed her the phone, and we're sitting on the couch, mind you. She didn't like throw it on the floor. But she does this. And just drops the phone on the couch. Are you fucking serious? Are you that much of a fucking child? I'm calling out my own mom. She ain't gonna watch this anyways. I don't care. Are you serious? You can't admit you're wrong when shown literal, like, direct proof? Like, again, I didn't even go to snakelovers.org. Bias results online. I didn't even... It was Google. It was Google. It was the first thing. To be handed the phone and just go, what? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. So if you refuse to be proven wrong, and this can go for anything. This just happens to be my personal example that happened very recently. It was like 6-7 days ago. Yeah, that's the second one. I've got 2. If I get about 5 more, I can get about 6. Oh my god, but no, if you refuse to be proven wrong, you're an idiot. Again, I get proven wrong all the time. I told you I got proven wrong the other day, and I conceded, you know, I was like, oh shit, you're right. And there was some other thing. I can't remember the other thing, but I got proven wrong on that as well. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember that at all. That was like a week or two ago, but I got proven wrong there too, and I was like, "You right, my bad, my B," you know, because you could I can realize I'm wrong and move on, and then I'm right in the future. Just the fact that she just, you know, it was just, oh my god, it made me so mad. It made me so mad. I'm still heated. It's been like a week and a half, bro, and there's been a much worse thing that has happened since that time that I should be heated about, but I'm not. I'm really just actually sad about the other thing. But that being said, up next, this is gonna upset the down home country hicks. But if you can't read, you're a fucking idiot. I'm not asking you to read Braille. I'm not asking you to read a different language. I'm not asking you to read Morse code. Okay? I'm not asking you to read Sona. I don't know. I was just gonna keep rambling off. I think that's. I'm not asking you to read the Doppler effect. I'm not asking you. Okay, okay. Seriously. I'm not asking you to read hieroglyphics. I'm not, I'm not asking you to read Sanskrit. How many different, like, not necessarily languages, but, like, formats are there? Like, there's a lot of formats of language. Not languages, but formats of them. There's a lot of those. I don't know. Anyways. Um, if you can't read, you're an idiot. You know? I'm not, like, you don't have to read, like, a, college professor level, but I'm saying if you pick up a menu and you're like, shit, Ch- chicken wings with hot, hot sauce. You're an idiot, bro. And it's not like I got chewed out a few years ago for saying this because oh my grandpa couldn't read and that's just because he worked on the farm. I'm not saying like he was idiot like he couldn't do anything. Clearly he was capable, but if you can't read the language of your own country, bro, like how did he get around, you know? Did he read like road signs? Like he had to have known road signs. Could you imagine like telling this dude, hey, you want to go about a mile down the road that way and you want to turn left when you get to, Syracuse Lane, give him a really hard one. Imagine that motherfucker turning on the Syracuse Lane. It ain't happening, bud. You're not turning. He's gonna be like, huh? No, huh? Huh? He ain't fucking turning on the Syracuse Lane. Put that motherfucker. Just you're not getting him. He ain't getting there. But like, you're an idiot, dude. If you can't read, you're an idiot. It's just there's no ifs and buts. There's no getting around it. It's just it is what it is. You're an idiot. Man, this is just the spicy list. Spicy list. Because I'm calling out yet another family member. I've called out my mother, my mima. Wait, no, I didn't call out my mima. I actually popped up my mima, so good on you, But I've called out my mother, my brother, and now my sister. If you are afraid of AI, I'm saying like actually afraid, like scared. You're an idiot. I'm sorry, sis. You're just an idiot about this one particular issue, not in general, but you're an idiot. I'm afraid of AI taking over jobs. That's gonna happen. I'm afraid of the death of the movie industry because everything's going to be AI generated and stuff like that. Everything, but a lot will be AI generated. I'm afraid of like that. Yeah. But I'm saying, if you're afraid of like some Matrix, iRobot type shit, you know there's a movie, right? You know there's movies, works of fiction. I really hope you can hear me whispering in the video, but that's just a movie. It's just a work of fiction. You know how at the end of credits of movies, when the like credits are going through, and there's that little blurb at the bottom that says, the events of this movie are completely fictitious, and any resemblance to any known living persons, living or dead. No, I don't know. I'm just saying, they put that for you, bro. She was sweating bullets watching iRobot, and then got to the credits and was like heart pumping, and then she saw that and was like, "This is completely fictitious," no relation to anyone alive or dead. Thank God, like if you, again, AI is gonna take our jobs, absolutely. But if you like, you're an idiot, bro. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're an idiot. This next one. If you fail for this rage bait a fourth time, you're an idiot. This one, I'll admit, was a little bit more spicy, than my usual content. But if you fell for this rage bait a fourth time, you're an idiot, bro. I'm sorry, you just are. I'm sorry, I was the one to tell you that. You're an idiot, bro. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh shit. If you drop my phone on the floor, you're an idiot. Little bonus one, if you suddenly record vertically in a landscape video format, you're an idiot. Anyways, I've been Scavenger Reviews, y'all. I wasn't as animated in this one. I've been having a really bad time lately, not to get personal or whatever, but I've been having a rough go at it, so I wanted to make this, I've been sitting on it for a few days now, and I have fun when I'm making these videos. It's really fun to call people out and be offensive. What can I say? What can I say? But yeah. Just call me an explosion of light and color, the way I'm such a firecracker. But nah, man, I've been Scavenger Reviews. You can catch me on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube shit, Hype me up, dude. Hype me up. Like, hype me up, Yeah. That's about it, man. That's about it. You can find me on my Instagram, by the way, Scavenger Reviews on Instagram. So check that out too. Peace.